How's it going, Capricorn? It's Robin here with AriesFireTarot. Thanks so much for joining me today on the channel, you guys. Really appreciate it. I hope you're all doing fabulous. You can let me know how it's going in the comments. I love getting comments from you guys. I really enjoy responding to everybody. I feel like you guys are my family, so don't be shy out there and like interact with each other. I love our community here. So meanwhile, I've been chatting and shuffling the Tattoo Tarot Ink and Intuition deck. I wanted to do a weekly reading to give a little bit of like a mini guidance in between the big readings, like the monthly and the finance and stuff like that. So I hope you're ready to enjoy a general reading. All the readings that I post publicly are general, so hopefully you can get something out of it. It resonates 100%, but if it doesn't, just take what connects and leave it for another viewer. So, okay, I'm going to do one more shuffle and just remind you guys to subscribe if you haven't done so already. It really helps me on keep my channel going and to do the free readings. So I'm going to start pulling cards. I've got the moon here. So I'm seeing some of you are actually going through, could be a dark night of the soul or possibly a spiritual ascension, and one kind of precedes the other. Got the Four of Cups here. So the Four of Cups, it speaks about missing some sort of opportunity, and that's, how are these cards connected? Looks like this is going to be a really interesting reading here. Four of Coins. The Four of Coins could speak a bit of a nervous energy, holding things inside. This is generally related to finance because we've got the coins, which are pentacles. You know, it's money, right? It's coins. So there's some nervousness here. You're missing something. And then you've got the Six of Wands, but it's something that could clear up for you. This is the Six of Wands. It tells of like moving out of an uncomfortable situation, like things clearing up for you. So this looks like a really interesting reading shaping up here, you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle the Gilded Tarot, and I'm going to move the camera angle down so you guys can see the cards while I do the reading. And I might throw down a couple of Gilded Tarot while I'm at it, just to see what's going on. Looks like it's going to be an intense one, guys, so hold on. Okay, I'm back. So like I was saying, I'm seeing that some of you are like kind of awake at night, like some sort of disturbance in the force is going on for you. And what I said before, like the dark night of the soul, it's like when people go through a spiritual awakening, they have to face the darkness in themselves. And it can be a very, very difficult process. And it's like looking at the darkness in yourself as opposed to the light in yourself, and sort of recognizing that without the dark half of you, there could be no light half. And that, you know, both, like all these characteristics, whether you care for them or not, reside in you. So, and trying to ignore them can get a little bit more complicated, like the more sort of mature we get. You know, as we go on in our lives, we tend to sort of recognize that there's some parts of ourselves that we're not huge fans of. You know, some of us could have made like massive mistakes, or like, you know, like hurt other people, whether intentionally or not, you know, and just made a mess of things. And these are things that we tend to bury because we don't want to look at it. And then there comes this part in our life where it's just time to like, it's exactly like a wolf howling at the moon. You can't ignore it anymore. So it's the time for these things to merge. And when I'm seeing the Four of Cups here, it's like this is an opportunity to use this sort of angst within you to move higher on your path. Like going through the dark night of the soul can have some really amazing benefits. It can bring like a stillness to you, and when you can accept all aspects of who you really are truly with love, then you can start accepting other people without judgment. So like I said before, this is going to be a really intense reading here. But I think that if you've been drawn here, this is something that you probably need to hear, because it's very unsettling as a feeling. I know a lot of people think that a spiritual awakening is kind of like, you know, dreamy, sort of relaxing, but it's not. You know, there's some of us are really fractured on the inside. So to heal that, you have to come face to face with things that you might have been burying for a long time. But you have to recognize that part of this is you, you know, and you did the best that you could with the information you had at the time. And I think that with the Four of Cups, it's like not willing to look at it. And then we've got the Four of Coins here, which is that nervous, anxious energy. But then you do also have two fours, which is an angel message. If you're Canadian, you're probably thinking beer right away, because that's what we call 24 beer. We call it a 2-4. Any other countries? But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like there's some anxiety and that anxiousness about looking at really into the depths of who you are and doing what it takes to heal, to move on. For some of us, it's not a real picnic, you know? Some people have led really tortured lives, and looking at that is like you hid things for a reason. Like, why would I want to go look at that, right? Because you need the healing, especially for people with really troubled childhood. These can leave like really deep emotional scars. And I think that some of you out there need to hear that your childhood trauma had... let me move the camera. I think you need to see my face for this part, because I'm feeling that some of you feel guilty about having really difficult childhoods. So what I'm about to say is that you guys, this was in no way your fault. If you were, like, I see some people on the channel right now listening, you guys could be have been abused in some way, just lived in like a not desirable family environment when you were growing up. None of this was your fault. You guys were a witness. And I think for children, you can really personalize things and take on sort of a self-blaming. You could have actually been told that things were your fault. You could have been told some really harsh things. None of that has anything to do with you. You were just the unwilling recipient, and kind of, for some of you, a prisoner of the circumstances. You did nothing to deserve that. You really need to hear that if you're going to be working through emotional trauma from childhood. So Kenneth Suarez does this really amazing childhood healing meditation. He's got a couple. His last name is Souras, and he's got some really good healing meditations. I wanted to recommend that for you guys, because I'm seeing that in order to sort of get to the next plateau or level of your life, there's some inner work that needs to be done. It might not be pleasant. It's going to be a bumpy ride. You know, you're going to have to revisit some things in order to work them out, because if we don't resolve the pain that's in our hearts, it just keeps on... It keeps coming back, you know. It's like a mosquito in the middle of the night. You keep swatting it away, but it comes back because it's not dead yet. You know what I'm saying? It just really have to come to a place in your mind and your heart and your soul where it doesn't affect you anymore. You know, it doesn't mean that it didn't happen, but it's something that you can conquer, you guys. So, and you know, you just really need to face it one-on-one. And sometimes this has to be done absolutely alone. There's a guy that I found when I went through my dark night. His name is Trevor Isley, I-S-L-E, and he talks very deeply about the dark night of the soul, because not everybody knows about it. They're just like, what is happening to me right now? I'm just like an emotional wreck, and they don't realize that that's what it is. And it can be a long process or it can be a short one, depending on how you recognize what you need to work through. So I'm just going to pull a Gilded Tarot card here for you guys, because I think you really need some help with getting through this part of your life. And honestly, once you work through it, you'll feel a lot better. Okay. Like I can like basically preach that, because I went through mine just a few years ago. It was like I didn't know what was going on until I found a couple people on YouTube. So I've got the Queen of Wands here. So the Queen of Wands, this is like, I feel like the universal energy coming in to like hold you in its arms right now, because the Queen of Wands is basically like, she's super mom, right? And she likes to take care of everybody, and she's very tireless in how she treats people. You know, she just cherishes everybody. So this is universal love here for you guys, knowing that you are divinely supported if you're going through this time. Some of you, this might not be resonating with, but I know that there's some of you out there that are also having like a spark of recognition in your heart. So just know that the universe supports you. Your angels are around you. Your spirit guides are around you, you guys. If you need some help going through this, just like YouTube, Dark Night of the Soul, you know, Ascension Path. And it'll really help you out. I promise. So let me know in the comments, guys, if this is something you've gone through recently, or if it sounds familiar. Like I'm here to support you guys on that too, because I know how it feels, right? Like my childhood was no picnic, so I totally get it. Angel numbers 1212 there for you guys. Google that, angel numbers 1212. You've got angel messages here. You've got 2 4s, and then you've got the 1212, and I said 2 4 again. So maybe it's Miller time somewhere. No affiliation, just making a joke. So guys, I'm going to wrap it up there, and I just send you all my love and blessings. And thanks so much for tuning in, and take care of yourselves. Okay, bye.